Excessive heat warning that starts Sunday morning and runs through Tuesday night for the valley. Sean Benedict with the National Weather Service says those afternoon highs are going to range from 109 to 115 again.
It's been nice being near or slightly below normal, which we haven't had a lot of this summer. But yeah, we're going to be heating back up.
The valley will continue to stay dry too, but the chances of rain do pick up in the second half of next week. And Labor Day's next weekend. It's expected to be one of the busiest holidays since before the pandemic. Julian Paradis with AAA says while many will hit the roads, most are going to be traveling via the skies.
Domestically on the roads, it'll be a little bit busier than normal, but it really is international travel that's going to be the big thing.
Paradis adds AAA expects to respond to about 7,000 roadside assistance calls in Arizona over Labor Day weekend. Arizona's been paying some of the highest pump prices in the nation this summer. Could it become a yearly thing? One expert says yes.
In the future, Arizona is going to be a problematic place.
The valley averaged $4.50 right now, according to AAA.
It's kind of problematic now.
Information Services. Arizona's population continues to boom, which puts more and more strain on California refineries to keep up with demand.
There isn't any new refining that's going to come on in California. If anything, you might see somebody shut down in the next few years there. So you are dependent on El Paso and New Mexico.
Both of those areas have had refinery issues this summer that play a role in why it's costing more to fill up. Jim Cross, KTAR News.
KTAR News. Water Watch.
A newly approved agreement between the cities of Scottsdale and Tucson will allow both to diversify their water portfolios. KTAR's Luke Forstner has this story.
Well, Becky, the agreement will allow Scottsdale to give some of its allocated water to Tucson, and in return, Scottsdale will get credits that can be used during water shortages. Gretchen Baumgardner with Scottsdale Water says it's a way to use water more efficiently.
This gets us wet water in the future up at our treatment facilities, which helps us manage.
I would not trust Tucson to make good on that. Not at all.
Tucson has similar agreements with other cities, and Baumgardner expects agreements between municipalities that move water and diversify water supplies to become more common.
We're not, an island amongst ourselves. It's really important to stay economically healthy and viable into the future. It's important to share the ability to move water.
Luke Forstner, KTAR News.
Governor Katie Hobbs was asked about recent reports the state superintendent of public education will use $10 million in ESA funding to advertise the controversial private school voucher program. While not confirming the amount, she dug into Tom Horn for his use of taxpayer money.
He's trying to advertise a program that's causing working families to have to support private school tuition, and it's an unaccountable, unsustainable program that has the potential to bankrupt our state.
The Arizona Department of Education estimates the ESA program.
For a while, my daughter was in that program at a charter school, my daughter Lily, and personally, I think it's a great program.
Spring training.
Parents should have the right to choose where their kids go to school and how their tax dollars spent towards schools are spent. I mean, hello. Who should be making that decision other than Arizona parents? Certainly not the government. I don't trust the government to make that decision.
$70 million in wages.
Spring training generated more than $418 million for the state's economy this season. One of Arizona's U.S. senators is back in the trade.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. After all the years that I DJ'd at Gilligan's in Old Town Scottsdale, I can tell you beyond any shadow of a doubt that as far as for the entirety of it, spring training way bigger here than even when we have the Super Bowl here. I mean, the Super Bowl has us pumped up for 2 days, maybe 3 days. And it's just in one part of the valley. Whereas spring training just has everything popping all over the valley for a couple of weeks, sometimes a little longer. And I'm stuck in traffic. Oh, it sucks. So it's 6:37 p.m. Friday, August 25th, 2023. I should have really made a little bit more effort to make sure I was on time for HelloFresh, but it is what it is. I found my hoodie. That's a good thing. Apparently, I was wearing it when I came in from work. The last shift I worked at HelloFresh and got undressed in my bedroom and just threw it on top of some other dirty clothes, which, big time stupid move on my part. And it's having a negative effect still with me on Wonolo. Like when I accepted the shift for tonight, I hit this thing where it said, I forget what it said, something about how I'm I don't know, something negative about my account and my shift and blah, blah, blah. And that I'm being given limited job offerings because of it. And of course now I'm stuck in fucking traffic. God damn it. You know, and I'm just so used to going to this on nights that aren't Friday. And I should know by now I need more time on Friday, but it's the last thing on my mind as I was trying to get ready to head out to work. So I had a really productive day today. Didn't really vlog because I got no... my iPhone is... I didn't recover my iPhone. That's bad news. But I did have a super productive day. Started my day over at Costco, paid my yearly Costco membership dues, which I feel like I should have probably downgraded my membership, but whatever. Got my Costco card, my replacement card today, and when I was on the phone with them last week, they told me that they had tried to run my membership dues through the card and that there wasn't enough credit on the card to cover it, so they didn't get paid, and that me maintaining this credit card, this line of credit, is dependent on me maintaining a valid Costco membership. So, and don't get me wrong, I mean, I use my Costco membership. It just, yeah, when the dues are due and it happens at a time when money is tight, it kind of sucks. But
Trump campaign
his
mugshot to sell T-shirts, bumper stickers, coffee mugs, and even beer coolers.
Yeah, everybody saw this coming. Hello.
The Never Surrender collection. Trump also posted a fundraising message on his campaign website, paired with the county jail booking photo underneath. That note ending with a plea for contribution from his supporters. But that's not all. His son, Donald Trump Jr., is also separately selling Trump mugshot merch, calling his swag the Free Trump Collection. Brittany Shepard, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up in just a few moments, still no rain, but the heat is back. We'll check in again on traffic, too, for you tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be in the 110s.
640.
All weekend and well into next week. So, yeah, that'll be great for my car. You know, and I've had all the last 2 weeks Rob's been offering to get my car in and look at it, and I've just been kind of catching up on sleep and trying to relax and work a little bit less since I was working so hard, and so much of that work was like not getting paid, but just working and trying to find work in July, and then all the stress that came with the issues that was going on with my daughter, which I don't know, hopefully that'll kind of come to a close this week. I mean, in a way, it's kind of coming to a close where I just stopped answering my phone because she'd call it really inopportune times to stress me the hell out. But dang, my temperature gauge is running a little high. This may get cut off in any second, by the way. I don't think I have much space on this phone. Shooting on Obamaphone 3, by the way. Let's see, what else did I do today? Let's see how much I can get out before I get cut off. I did try to get a shift for... It did offer me a shift for Saturday night at HelloFresh, but apparently I was busy doing other shit and I missed it and it got filled. So, and I guess that's the difference between me being on the bottom, I think before I was getting like I was definitely getting more notices through Wonolo, and I'm thinking now like they give the first wave out to the good people, and then I'm looked at as Wonolo or of a last resort right now. So yeah, not a shock that when I saw it, and I didn't even look on Obamaphone 5 to see how old the push-through message was when I noticed it, but it just told me the job was no longer available. So that sucks.
business owners and professionals.
Fortunately, I've still got Obamaphone 5, and I'm logged into Wonolo on Obamaphone 5, and Obamaphone 5 does the Wonolo app fairly well, unlike most apps. So that's a good thing.
And that's why it's so important to hire someone that has.
Otherwise, I'd really be screwed. Like that, losing my iPhone would probably be the end of me working with Wonolo. And plus, I think if I wasn't already logged in Wonolo on that phone, I wouldn't be able to get logged in because Wonolo sells the phone number on my iPhone as the phone. And I think part of the login process when you log in is putting in a what do you call it? Getting a text message at your phone number of record and then putting it in. That's how most apps these days verify, which is kind of a shitty way to verify because it's possible to still be you, but not have access to your phone number. I seem to find myself in that situation pretty regularly from time to time. What with being as rough on my phones as I am and having such old phones. Speaking of trying to get out of the old phone situation, I went to Cox. The good news is my balance is completely paid to zero. I actually paid my bill early. It's not due. I forget what date it's due, but I mean it's usually due. I want to say later in the month or early in the next month. You think I know this by now, but I don't. But at any rate, I showed up at the Cox store today. It had a good enough position in my billing cycle that my new bill was available, but it's not even close to due yet. And which meaning that the overdue amount that I didn't pay last month is not overdue to the point it's generating late fees. So that's pretty awesome. It's nice to. It's one less thing to stress about now that I'm back down to a zero balance on
644 at Jackie Lynn, and here's what you need
644. I have 15 minutes to make it.
More than 2 months into the monsoon with very little rainfall on the scoreboard, and it looks to be dry until at least the middle of next week. Sean Benedict with the National Weather Service says temps will climb over the weekend into early next week.
After we experience a little bit of heat first, there's a pattern change. It looks like it'll favor a big return of moisture towards the middle of next week. So I see some better rain chances.
So far, Sky Harbor has
at this speed, I can't even turn on my air conditioning.
Of an inch of rain this summer, more than an inch and a half below normal. AAA says today's statewide average is $4.29.
My temperature gauge is climbing.
That's up 49 cents from a month ago. Here in the Valley, the average is $4.50, 59 cents higher than a month ago. Tom Kloza from Oil Price Information Service says our high summer gas prices could be here today.
Topped off my gas.
As our population continues to boom.
Oh yeah, they were all talking about this earlier. So yeah, I topped off my gas tank today. It's the first time I've topped off my gas tank in quite some time. I did not use my Costco card, which sucks because that means that there's some bonus points I didn't get. Oh my god, my visibility is terrible. I really should have washed my windshield while I was out and about because it's got like rain spots all over it. Yeah, the what do you call it? The temperature gauge is kind of high, but I'm at highway speeds now, so it should cool off pretty quick. I'm gonna turn on my air. I'm brutally hot. Plus, I got 2 layers of t-shirts on because I'm on my way to HelloFresh, and I got 2 layers of pants on, so that's not really helping me for not being hot. That's what I was gonna say. So yeah, I got Cox store. That's down to a zero balance. I was hoping to get a new phone, and I mentioned that. I know I mentioned that a couple months back. Well, that I went there to pay off a portion of my bill, and that they had amazing deals on phones, but I just wasn't in a financial position to take advantage of any of those deals. Well, those deals have all expired. They did have one phone that looked kind of okay for what I like to get right now, but and she said it was 50% off, but still, out the door price would be about $100. That's $100 I don't feel I should be spending right now. Especially since today I just spent a little bit less than $100 to service my iPhone 7 Plus. Now I had said in the past that I didn't feel that phone was fixing anymore. But my situation has changed since that time. Was it a wise financial decision to service this phone compared to what I can get another iPhone 7 Plus for? No, it wasn't. Especially considering that home button has issues and really can't be, I really can't do anything about it either. But at this point, I need access to my iCloud to keep my vlog going. And with him repairing that phone by tomorrow during the day, afternoon, whenever I get over to his store, as long as I get there before 5, I'll have my iPhone 7 and it should just log right in to my, even though I'm not going to have service on it, I'll be able to get on my Wi-Fi and I'll have immediate access to my iCloud. So that's a good thing. Plus, that was a 128 gig phone, whereas I've been getting by with a 64 gig phone with my 6S Plus. So that's a bonus too, as far as the vlog is concerned. He's also fixing the camera. I ended up going to the place on 16th Street, and I said I wouldn't go back there as well, but sometimes just better the devil you know. For the most part, that guy's giving me good service. I'm thinking it just might have been a misunderstanding about him and I, and the home button. I don't know. I was just so frustrated. I got it back with a wonky home button, but we kind of discussed it today. So the home button on that just kind of is what it is. It would cost basically Apple has to do that for that home button to work right. I mean, it does unlock the phone most of the time, so it seemed to be working good today. It doesn't read fingerprints at all, because I think it's mismatched to the motherboard. It's one of those Apple things where it's like serialized and only Apple can do that, and they just won't. My God, this sun glare is from hell. But yeah, he offered. I asked him about the screen, and what about the camera? He said if I don't mind him using just a used camera off of a scrap phone, they just charge me an extra $20 to throw it in. So can't beat that with a stick. So that'll be kind of cool having that camera working again. As far as recovery of my other iPhone, I did go to Hertz today. For some reason, I was thinking the office was open until 5. It closes, and I mean the front office there on Buckeye. It closes at 4, and I got there like 4:15. So, yeah, blew that. They're not back there till Monday, so nobody's going to have access to that lost and found until Monday. So even if my phone has been found, it was found last night or during the day today. Shit, I'm missing my exit because I can't see because of the goddamn glare. Wow, that was kind of close. I hate driving in the sun like this, and it doesn't help that my windshield is filthy. So 6:49, looks like I'm gonna get to work on time, barely. So yeah, I'll have access to that tomorrow, and with a good camera, but still a questionable home button. So still won't have access to my phone number until, it's gonna be a while. Definitely gonna be a while. Allison's supposed to show up at my place between 6 and 6:30 tomorrow. Grab whatever stuff she's grabbing. I got a feeling she's probably going to be disappointed because some of her stuff, I don't know where it is. I've been having enough trouble keeping track of my own shit. So, yeah. She says she leaves on a bus tomorrow for Oregon. She's moving back in with her boyfriend or whatever he is out there without a car. So I don't know, maybe her being there without a car will be what it takes for her to stay out of trouble. I hope. And by trouble I mean away from drugs and people that do lots of drugs, which always leads to drugs and drugs and drugs. She did mention something, or maybe somebody in the background mentioned something about methadone, so I guess that's still a thing for her. I mean, supposedly that's a good thing for getting people weaned off of certain types of narcotics, like I guess she was doing fentanyl, but I don't know. For me, to me, it seems like if you're doing methadone, like, you're still doing drugs. So, but I mean, it's certainly better than her being homeless, trying out on the street, doing street drugs. So, I guess if that works, that works. And hopefully, it's. I don't know. There's so many mixed feelings on that. And I guess I should count myself lucky that I've never struggled with drug addiction. I mean, there was a time I used to be a pothead, but I never had a issue with going without pot when I was without pot. I mean, I'd be a little irritable to be around, but like, I wasn't spending my rent money on weed, or going out to steal because of weed, or finding myself homeless because of weed. 52 after on my clock, which means it's probably 54 after. I got a 5-minute window with Wonolo, so I think I'm going to be okay. So I think this is 67th Avenue I'm coming up on. Oh, and of course I just got a red light.
Strange as it may seem, this is not the first instance of a literal porch pirate. A Detroit woman in 2021 reported that someone had stolen her entire porch, too. Thanks for listening to Arizona's Evening News.
I feel like I really missed an interesting story right there.
We'll be in with the very latest. We'll have the Ramsey Show coming up next. Make sure those headlights are on, and have a terrific weekend.
I'm sure those headlights are on. Thanks for the warning. Mine were not on. Whoops. Of course, the sun's not down yet, so there's that. But yeah, with the sun so in the sky, I should have had my headlights on. Other things I got done today. Let's just say what my day was in order. So I did sleep in super late today. I was up kind of early, just dumping files onto my YouTube unedited. I figured there's no way I was ever going to get around to editing with this issues with my phone, and so I just threw it all out there. Whether anybody watches it or not, I don't know. I don't expect anybody to watch all of it. There's a lot of dead time in the stuff from July 19th, which was the day that my daughter was in the hospital, and I stayed with her there the entire time. It was one of those files I felt had a little too much personal information in it, so I've got that one blocked. But I do want to do an excerpt from it that I want to make public, because yeah, that was